Okay, up next, we have a really cool experience. We got to commission a piece, which is an original piece of music this year that was written for us. It's entitled Great Blue Heron. You'll hear about why we called it Great Blue Heron in just a minute, but it was a really cool process. We got to work with the composer. His name is Kenley Christofferson. He's a composer out in Winnipeg. I think a part of the reason why a lot of people in this band really enjoy lyrical playing is because we did this piece 2 years ago. How many were in the band 2 years ago when we did it? A number of our current students. It was called Philum Vitae, and it was called the subtitle The Thread of Life. And it's just this beautiful lyrical piece that has all these moving parts. Anyway, we fell in love with it, and I think it easily became our favorite piece of that year. It's weird when you have high school students usually don't love the lyrical pieces. I keep saying that, but this group really often does, and I think it started with that piece. It was just such a cool piece. Anyway, I met Kenley actually at a conference last year, and I just told him our story. I said, okay, we love your piece. It's great. I'd always wanted to do an original work for this group. It's just a great thing to be a part of. It's ours. There isn't a reference recording we can use to figure out how it goes. Every other piece we do, we can listen to a recording and we can say, oh, okay, they interpreted it this way, they did that. This piece wasn't that. This was ours. It was original. We had to create all the musical decisions, and it was a great learning process along the way. So very cool experience. We're going to find out. So part of this experience was Kenley asked for ideas. What do we want this piece to be about? What do we want it to reflect? And we had many of the students submitted some ideas for it. Kenley went through them, and he found one idea in particular really resonated with him. And it was the idea that was proposed by one of our percussionists, Ryan Stein. So he's going to tell you a little bit about what this piece means, the ideas behind it, and the story of the Great Blue Heron.
Hello, I'm Ryan Stein, and so when Mr. Rodnick told us that we would be doing this opportunity to create an idea for a piece and then submit it, what my goal was with making the idea for it was I wanted to tie together our band, our community, and our home. So that's Georgian Bay. And the way I went about doing this was through a lot of metaphors. So I used a great blue heron to depict the main theme behind the story because first, that's like a bird that's in this area. It's a great blue heron. Secondly, great blue herons have meaning within indigenous communities and spiritual representations of like elegance and grace. And we have such a strong presence of indigenous communities in this area that I wanted to include that in the piece for our area. And the Great Blue Heron is a story about migration. So the Great Blue Heron starts off at home, in the comfort of home, and then it takes flight, and it goes on this journey, and throughout the journey there's a storm, there's times of doubt, and times of instability, but then the heron is able to pull together and make it to the end of its journey, the arrival. And what that story is telling is the story of our band. So every year in September, we come and it's calm. It's the calm month because band is just starting up. And it's nice to regroup with your friends, and it's a really nice experience, a community. You find community within here. And then we go on all these opportunities that Mr. Rodnick is able to bring us on, and they're incredible. And there's victory, there's hardship, and there's loss. This year's been a very good year for victory, but there has been a lot of hardship with these pieces because they demanded something of us that we really had to push for. And those three factors are so important because how can you truly celebrate a success if you didn't have to struggle for it? So the metaphor is of our band rising together and going on all these great festivals, playing music for lots of different people, and at the end, you can look back on the year and see how far you've made it. And a great part about this piece to me is the story of the Heron not only tells the story of the band, but it can also be the individual experience. So I feel like everyone could see themselves in that journey of seeing where you need to get to and working hard towards that because you want to be able to celebrate that goal with your friends and be able to play music for people and perform. And another thing that I think the Heron could represent is for our senior students. So whether you're continuing your journey in music or choosing to pursue another passion, you're paving your way into the world. And I think this experience you've had here will always stick with you. Because whether you're following music or not, you're still gonna have hardship, and you're still gonna have wins, and there will be loss. And when you're out there in the world, I think at the end of the song, when the Heron has the arrival, it can also look back on the beginning. And I think as a senior, when you are out in the world, you can always come back home to see where you started. This amazing program that has provided so much for so many people, a sense of community. I know that it provided me with a lot of sense of community, and I found a place here, and I hope that when senior students go on, they can find a place wherever they end up, and when new people join our band, they can find their place as well.